Are you a faithful?
Or are you a traitor? Hey everyone, welcome to another podcast episode of Just One Bite. I'm one of your hosts, Nina at Psychofood.
And I'm Tiff at Take One for the Road.
And as you know, or if you don't know, of the new Peacock show called Traitors, it's actually been going on for a few seasons now, but I'm actually obsessed with the show since the first season, and it's finally kind of getting some traction because it's an Emmy nominated show and all, and it got really popular last year because people like Zac Efron's brother was on the show, and then also Gabby from Bachelorette was also on the show last year. But this year they have a really cool cast, and it's still ongoing at the time that this is going on. But we've definitely look at us go.
Look at us in our little outfits, our traitor outfits.
So this is actually a cape from Attack on Titan that I wore for Halloween once, but
mine's from Amazon. You can get it there.
Yeah, mine's also from Amazon too. So we got something going on, but we're two different types of traitors. But if you guys don't know what the concept of the show is, it's basically set in Scotland, and the host is Alan, and he invites these celebrities to his show or to his mansion, and then they do a bunch of games that's earning towards a certain amount of money. But at the same time, there are usually 3 traitors that are picked from the cast that have to basically off the people who are in the majority of the cast, and everyone else is considered faithfuls. So it's kind of
is it mafia?
It is quite like mafia, but then the show is really themed, and it's really cool because it's set in Scotland, and then they're in this mansion, and they're all just really nice and stuff. So Alan, he goes all out. It actually started from the UK, and it's actually with normal people too that are on the show. So
well, I did see they were casting next season.
Yes,
not celebrities. So I keep telling Nina, you need to
I
apply.
know. I have to check if they still even have the application open, but I haven't gotten a chance to sit down and do it. But I really do want to be part of the show because I think I would be a good traitor.
I think so too, because no one would suspect you because you look so innocent.
I will be actually kind of like Eric Nam on this season.
My God,
if you guys don't know who Eric Nam is, he's a K-pop idol. And then he's super nice. We actually met him last year.
This time last year, we met him. He's so nice.
He's really nice.
And he's funny.
And he's on the show. And I'm not going to try to spoil stuff too. But then he's someone that I'll say that he's a faithful, but he is someone who's really nice and stuff. So I feel like I would be kind of similar to him, where everyone would be trusting of me and stuff, but I would be the least assuming person to be a traitor. So yeah, I think on this season they have some really cool people. They have Tara and Johnny
from the ice skating
world, because at this time right now it's the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. So I actually think that was a really good cast, to do a good move on Peacock NBC's part. They also had Taylor Swift's now gonna be mother-in-law,
soon to be Donna.
Was also on the show. But I'm gonna kind of speak a little bit because I'm not, it's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, hard to not talk too much about spoilers, but just so you know,
it's okay. By the time this comes out, I feel it'll be the end of the season anyways.
So Donna was one of the this is a spoiler, by the way, but I'll give you guys 3 seconds. Okay, if you guys don't want to listen to it. But Donna was one of the secret traitors. So
what does that mean?
So a secret traitor is someone who everyone doesn't know aside from the host. So even the traitors don't know. So traditionally there are 3 traitors that get picked at the beginning of the season, but then they did this thing that they started also in the UK where they picked a secret traitor. So the faithfuls obviously don't know, and the traitors don't know. So that kind of puts them at a hindrance because they don't know how that secret traitor is moving. So they can ideally, I think they said that it would really revolve around Donna, and then they were doing interviews after that from like I guess the producers, and they were like, oh, they had a lot of stuff planned for like the secret traitor, and with Donna that would be like kind of cool because she seemed unassuming, but I think she was seeming too suspicious, so they like got her out within like the first few episodes.
I feel like she was set up to fail though, because everyone here, they're like they're like celebrities, whereas Donna, she's more so like, she's a celebrity, but she's known to be Travis and Jason Kelce's mom. So everyone here, they don't really know her, right? Because
Yeah, so
other
it kind of put
celebrities,
her
you
up.
kind of can clock each other. You're like, oh, she's from Love Island, he's from Love, oh, she's a housewife.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, but then when they see Donna, they're like, who is she?
Yeah,
You know?
well,
except for a couple people who do know her.
Actually, from a lot of people on the cast, they all knew who she was because like I think at the time that it was filmed, like who is it, the one that Travis Kelce, the team that he's on,
the Chiefs.
yeah, so they had just won like earlier that year, so everyone knew who Donna was, and everyone was like actually kind of scared to like
Piss off the Swifties.
Yes, but so literally everyone in the cast knew, like, and if anything, like, I don't think all the cast knew each other. Like, people didn't really know who Eric Nam is, and then they realized, oh my gosh, he's like this big like K-pop idol, and they had like no idea. But then yeah, so everyone kind of knew Donna, but Donna, like, the way that she was moving was a little too suspicious. Like, she was kind of like, she was not making any connection, she wasn't like talking to anyone, because even if you don't know anyone there, because think about it too, like, people on the UK where it's not celebrities, they still have to make like the effort to like, yeah, and then people were like, you're not talking gameplay, you're not like doing anything, and so it just kind of seemed a little too, because she would always like purposely put herself aside, and then later on when she got like banished, she was like, yeah, I probably should have made a bit more of an effort to be friendly, because if you look more like kind of like off-putting and stuff, like not off-putting but just like distant, even if you're trying to play the observant type, you look more suspicious that way. So yeah, and then everyone else, like, they usually talk like strategy, like, okay, who are you gonna vote for at the Roundtable, which is where is an opportunity for the faithfuls to banish who they think is a traitor, and it's like an opportunity for them to say all like the clues, like, this person, I noticed that they said the word "we." Oh my gosh, that's like
suspicious.
yeah, because it happens every season where someone is like talking and they're like, oh, who do you think it is? And they're like, oh, well, you know, like, if I were the traitor, I would do this, or like, you know, we basically like off that person last week, you know, and then people are kind of like, why did that person say we? Or like, why did they say like, oh, if I were a traitor, like that seems suspicious.
That seems suspicious.
Yes, and so a lot of faithfuls have gone down that way. Dang. Because they said the wrong thing. They kind of like missaid something, so you have to be like really cautious. But also something that's very notorious on like Traitors is that they always get the housewives, like from Bravo, the Bravo channel on Traitors.
But this season had like 3, right?
I think they had like 3 or 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it's funny because when Tiff got her haircut, she was like, "Oh, I look like
Lisa Rinna. Rich Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Lisa Rinna is like
iconic. She's iconic.
Yeah, and so. Spoiler again, this is only like a recap, but Lisa Rinna was one of like the traitors too, and then Candace is another like housewife,
also a traitor.
Yeah, and then Rob is also a traitor. So Rob is the one from Love Island that was super popular, and oh my gosh, he's going like viral right now because he was dressed in these overalls during Traitors.
He also wore on Love Island.
Yeah, that he wore on Love Island, and then he wore it again in Traitors, and he didn't wear like a shirt underneath. And so like there's been a lot of brands who've been recruiting him to wear overalls. Like Sonic just did a commercial with him, and then I don't know, it's like there's another beverage brand that did something with him too, and I'm like in overalls, and it's just quite hilarious how like they're kind of moving. But I think a lot of people this year are definitely smart, because last season it was a little rough because the traitors were not working along really well with each other. Like
who were the 3 last year? It was Gabby was one of them.
No. Gabby was not. She was a faithful.
She was a faithful.
But it was like Boston Rob from Survivor. There's this other girl. I forgot. I think she's a housewife too. And then this other girl who oh my god, I'm like blanking on the names, but they just really did not work well with each other. Like they were always like, they were all kind of against Boston Rob, who's from Survivor, and he's a known Survivor contestant, and he's known to be kind of like really smart. And all the traitors always thought that they were gonna be against him, or he was against them, and that he was going to try to take the prize money for himself. So like it was always like so weird, and it didn't need to be that way. But then last year they actually had a lot of game players, which is a term that they use often, or like gamers, which are people who are on shows like Survivor, The Challenge, like those type of
not just like a Love Island, like
not
looking
like
for love reality
not like a
show. Like it forced them to really use their minds. And
yes
think.
Like it's a competition show. So a lot of people, like those people are more known to like people on The Circle, right?
Yes.
Like those are people,
it's like strategy games.
Yes, they kind of already know how to play the system. So there's like a lot of people last year who were from game shows, and then this year they like basically booted out all like the gamers because they were suspicious, except like one girl, which her name is Natalie, and she is also I think on Survivor.
I heard,
yeah, but she's jacked, she's so like fit, oh my god. like if you guys see her, she's like, oh my god, her shoulders and her arms are so strong, like it's kind of crazy. But they have like Mora too, who's on Love Island. She's
the After Sun host, right? Or
no, I think she was like a contestant on Love Island, but then
now she just hosts
she hosts After Sun. Yeah. But they had this girl named Kristen from Iron Chef, I think.
They have Mark from Dancing.
Yeah, Mark from, oh my gosh, that was so exciting for me to see, because I feel like he's someone who's really kooky, and I like seeing him something outside of Dancing with the Stars. Yeah. And then like a bunch of housewives. Oh, and they had someone kind of a little controversial, Colton from The Bachelor. And I kind of knew this, but I forgot. But he came out. Yeah, he's a stalker, but he also came out.
Yes.
Yeah, and then people were like, don't like the way that Colton's playing, because he's very like kind of like aggressive, and then people are kind of like tying that with the history of how like The Bachelor like
how he stalked his ex Cassie.
Yes. And it's like a little like much, but then he stayed in the game for quite a long time, and then him and Rob were very like close too. But then and then there was also another guy named Michael Rappaport, who's like an actor. You might know him, where there's this very iconic line during this Traitors season where Michael is like, he was a bit much at the Roundtable. He was like always yelling at everyone.
Oh.
And then it was just not really creating like a good environment for the cast, and he would be like yelling at people, you're a fake or a traitor. And then there's this one line where he was like, you're a commiserating traitor. And then like Rob from Love Island, he was like, commiseration is like,
it means you're like you feel sorry for someone or something.
Yeah, he's like, that's not what commiserating like means,
like
yeah. And it was just like kind of funny, because Rob is actually kind of like kind of a nerd, I guess. So he knows a lot of things. Like
he's very smart.
He's very smart.
I think people just look at him and they're like, oh, he's just like a pretty face. And,
yes.
But he's been really smart. From the clips I watch on TikTok, he's been playing really well.
Yeah, and I think there was like an interview with Alan, like the host, and he said that he thinks one of the like the best traitor is like Rob. Like,
do you think he already spoiled the results then, or the show?
No, it was just like on Jimmy Kimmel or whatever. And then I agree too, because I feel like Rob is like he's pretty smart, and he will focus on like the game more than his like feelings, which I think happens a lot with the housewives who are cast as a traitor, because they will tie their emotion, and they're kind of known for all the Bravo's a channel to band together, and they will be like working as a team instead of just working as individuals in the game, which I think is kind of a hindrance. Because if you have a lot of housewives, then they kind of get a big majority in like the voting process.
I see.
Yeah, but not like intentionally, but it just kind of happens that way. But there's been a lot of like cool highlights too. There's this guy named like Ron.
Oh yeah, I saw like people weren't the nicest to him, but Rob was really sweet to him.
Yes,
they formed a good bond.
Yeah, and Ron, like, I felt bad because they didn't really like him too much in the castle, but I think it's also kind of similar to how Donna was, where she kind of like kept to herself more, and he didn't really talk strategy much. So then I think that was kind of like off-putting for some people, because they were like, oh, that's suspicious and stuff. But yeah, there's always like a lot of like tricks and stuff I think that people like go through these challenges and like through the show. But I think as like a faithful, you really have to be like forward and trying with all the challenges and making sure you're friendly with everyone. But it's also hard because sometimes people might get suspicious of one another and start bringing up all these incidents and clues. So I think you have to like be prepared to like save yourself during like the voting process and stuff. But
okay, so how do the games work? Since I don't really watch the show, I just see the clips and stuff. How do the games work in terms of
how they get
like,
more money?
How do they, the money part, and then how are the traders having to play the games? Is because because they have a different goal in mind, right? Or,
yeah, it's like it's not always the case where there's a secret mission that the traders have to do for every challenge that they're doing. It's not every game.
I see.
But then also the games kind of change every season or so. Or if you watch the UK version, you might actually see what games they might potentially have for the US version because it comes out sooner. But it kind of changes, and they'll do something that's creepy or like trivia games. They did one where it was kind of like charades, but they have to like create a picture using their teammates, and then take a picture, and then another set of faithfuls or whoever is in another castle, and then they have to figure out, oh, what painting are they trying to describe, even though they don't know. And that was a recent one that they had. They also had one where they're playing like a tune, and then they find what the tunes are from different music boxes that are in the...
Is this the Tom Sandoval one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. He was in, like, last season. So, yeah. And then they'll do, like, challenges where they're in a house, and then, like, they have to get, like, the what's it called? Like, they have to get the note out of, like, a box of insects or something. Or, like, they're locked in a box or whatever, and then they have to get out or something. Or sometimes they'll do a challenge on the water too, which is kind of fun, like where they're all on boats and they have to grab like the gold or something that's floating around. So they have like little games, and then usually there's like Alan will say like, oh, this challenge there is 25,000 worth of prize money that you could add to the pot, but then it's up to them if they make or max out that amount, because sometimes like the traders might like spoil it, and then like if they're doing a secret challenge, they might try to prevent them from reaching the max of 25,000 or whatever.
Okay, so the pot is just one big pot of money, and whoever wins at the end, do they themselves keep the money, or it's split amongst their teammates who are either traders or faithfuls?
Yeah, so usually towards the end, there's kind of like, I want to say like I think I've only seen like really like 4 people at the end. And then those people have to really, they could be faithful, they could all be traitors, but it's like at the end they'll do like a final banishment and see like, oh, that person's definitely a traitor, or like we should vote out that person. So sometimes there's a case where there's like more than one winner. Like I think it was last year too, like there was 2 faithfuls at the end, but there could have been 3, but I think they voted them out. And then they also have had where a traitor won, and like the first season, like, oh my God, there's this one girl where there was 2 traitors at the end, and she or 2 or 3 or something, and then actually I think what happened was that there was 3 people at the end. One was a faithful, 2 were traitors, and then she was able to convince one to
one of the faithfuls
to vote that other person
out.
Yeah, vote the traitor out. So it could have been that there was 2 traitors who could have won, but then basically that girl took the money for herself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of bad because, like, let's say at the end there was a traitor and a faithful at the end, then it's still gonna go to the traitor because that means that the faithful's lost.
I see.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, but then there's also a case where there's faithfuls that make it to the end. So yeah, that's
is that how Gabby won last season then?
Yes. I mean, because she was like a faithful.
Yeah.
So I guess that was 2 seasons ago that I was thinking of.
Okay.
But yeah, usually like there could be multiple people, and they usually split the prize.
Okay, so was Gabby the only winner last season,
No,
or there's like they
was,
split it amongst?
I think they split it.
Okay.
Yeah, let me look real quick. But yeah, that was a good season. I liked it because they definitely got a variety of personalities in the castle. This year they definitely have like different personalities, but I appreciate that there's some more like Asian representation.
Is it just it's just Eric? Oh, Kristen too.
Oh,
That's
wait, sorry.
good.
There was 4 winners last year because I forgot Dolores was one of them.
Uh-huh.
So it was Dolores, Dylan Efron, Lord Ivor, he's a lord, I think, in the UK.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Like he's an actual like noble person.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gabby Windy.
So that they split the money.
They split the prize of $4,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so they got pretty lucky, but you really got to have like trust in all of them at the end. And some people might share like I want to bring you to the final or whatever.
So if 2 traitors make it to the end, then they would split it.
Technically that they would like split it, but it's like that last one where in the case that there was 3 and there was still 1 faithful at the end, she could have had the opportunity to vote that person out.
Dang.
Yeah, vote that other traitor out. So yeah, I felt like that was a little selfish, but
Do you want to talk about how a faithful just got recruited to be a traitor on this season?
yeah, so usually towards like mid-season there's like it's kind of required for them to onboard another traitor, and like that happens usually because like I think in the order of the gameplay, it makes it more fair when there's another traitor that onboards. Yeah. So then this is another spoiler, but I've been saying a bunch of spoilers. But like Eric Nam got nominated or recruited by Rob to be another traitor, which I think was a very good move on Rob's part because Eric was he's so unassuming. Eric Nam, like he's so chill. Like,
But I also
happy.
heard he's like so confident in his like evidence of like saying like who he thinks is traitor or who isn't, but then it's always like wrong, and it's like really funny. I heard.
Yeah, I think Eric is he's been pretty good at who a lot of like coming up to it, but I think he thought that the traitor was this guy named Johnny, the ice skater.
The handwriting.
Yeah, which was quite off, but because of the handwriting.
Yeah.
But then and then there was also this point where Eric Nam was like, oh, I know that laugh from anywhere, but then it was just a different housewife that he like chose, but it was Lisa Rinna who I think was the one who laughed, so or someone or whatever. But yeah, it was just like he was like, I'm a musician, I have good hearing and blah blah blah, but at that time he just didn't have one. But usually he's pretty good with providing evidence, and he's always someone who starts the round table, or he'll start like taking initiative, and he always comes with it in a fair like manner, because like the way that Michael Rappaport was, he was so like accusatory, very like aggressive, and then they were like, as like a faithful or a traitor, like you're bad at both because we don't want you at the castle, like. Aww. Yeah, so I feel like he was a bit much, but I think he's always saying like, I'm from like Jersey and like I have a strong personality and I get it, but it's like I think when you already see that like tone of conversation when you're yelling at people, it's like, how do you think that makes the other person feel?
Yeah, I just feel like even in everyday life, no one should be raising their voice like that. Like no one should be yelling at people, and it's just a game at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a game at the end of the day. But yeah, I think the season was like very good, and they did something different too, where they had like a banquet, which was like a really big deal, and then usually like the traitors have to like they write someone's name that they want to like off, and they are never seen, but then sometimes they'll do like an open face like kill, basically, where or like a murder in plain sight is what sometimes they do, but then that's when they do like a secret mission. So this year they had to figure out someone who would touch a brooch on that was like a traitor's brooch or whatever, and everyone was kind of like at this banquet mingling and stuff, and so it was hard for the traitors to be like, oh, who can we get to touch this brooch, and then then basically like someone did touch it, and then they basically took them away like in front of everyone.
But so the faithfuls have no idea, like, oh, if we touch the brooch,
because it's a secret mission. Like they're like, oh, it's like, oh, get someone to kiss you on the cheek or something. Yeah, but then they wouldn't know what the challenge is unless they're like, but Lisa was the one who was trying to do that challenge, and
who ended up touching the
Yam. He's like I forgot where he's from, but
how did they get him to touch the brooch?
I think he was on Survivor, I forgot, but she had the brooch, and then she was like, oh, I think something is like off, and then she was like, oh, can you help me? And then they like helped, but he was kind of off into the way that he thought that it was probably her, because he was able to guess that it was her, but as he was leaving, because they basically had the two people in black coats take him away, and he was like, I think it's Lisa, and then he was like, she kissed me on the cheek, but then in actuality the challenge was for him to touch the brooch, but then
but because of that, did people think it was Lisa?
Yes. Yeah, but then she didn't have like a good case on her shoulders too in her defense. I feel like she was like, oh, I kiss like everyone and whatever, and then I think she is someone known to be very like loud and stuff, but I think the way that she was loud, people were like, oh, it's a little out of character of her, so it became suspicious. Dang. Yeah, it's a very like really good show, and I was like, when it first came out, I was really hoping that people like knew about the show, and not a lot of people did.
You were the only one, I think, talking about it, watching it, but then this season a lot of people
I mean last season they definitely watched a lot, and then they basically went 2 seasons where I'm like, oh, nobody's like watching this show, and then the 3rd season last year did really well, and then I think it's become part of people's radar too, with the Emmy nomination, and then now this year it was definitely big because they had a lot of different personalities, so I think it was really good, and I think they do a really good job of like setting up the thing and setting up the challenges, and it's very good for people who are like into maybe escape rooms and stuff. So I think, I'm not sure how good I would be on challenges, but I think I would be better at like physically going to get stuff, like because they have mental challenges and physical challenges, so I think I would be better at the more like physical stuff, like grabbing something instead of like the mental one, because I can't like I like in dire need I probably won't like pay attention to what the clues are out loud. So yeah.
I hope you should definitely look to see if the application is still open and just apply. I feel like you would make a great cast member, regardless if you're faithful or traitor.
Yeah, I think I would
be good entertainment.
Yeah, I think I would be pretty good at like pretending that I'm a faithful, because I will try to fully believe that I'm a faithful. Which one would you rather be?
I think I would rather be a faithful. I'm not really good at lying, so
yeah. I think like if you just convince yourself that you're a faithful, you'll be a faithful. So you just think that being a traitor is like your second life. Like you just can forget about it.
All right. Well, if you guys see this, cast Nina.
I know.
Put her in.
Yes, and then like I already have. I'm set. I don't need to bring.
She's got her own whiteboard. Like
I don't need to bring anything. I can bring this. I can bring my board. But yeah, it's a really good show, and if you want to watch it, it's on Peacock. Like, this is obviously not like and promotion and anything. I just actually really like the show. So
Yeah.
if you have Peacock, it's a good one to watch, and you can watch Love Island on there too. So you got something while they're not in off season. But yeah, anyways, thanks for like listening to like me basically ramble about the show. But if you want to watch, just make sure or watch us on Just Went By. We release episodes every week, and you can find us on Instagram and TikTok and Spotify. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.